to our overview video for the multiple choice, multiple answer question type and the PTE academic exam. I'm Sharon, and I'm a PTE trainer here at Benchmark Education Solutions. I'm glad you've joined me for this video today. We're going to look at how this question is scored. We'll do an example together, and I'll leave you with some important tips to keep in mind when answering these questions. Let's get started with a brief overview of this question type. This is the second task in the reading section, in which you'll see a text of up to 300 words. For each text, you'll have one multiple choice question. There will be several answer options per question, and there will be more than one correct response for each answer. Although each question is different, the focus of these questions is mostly the same. The questions will focus on the content, basically the details of the text, and the tone of the writer. Examples of the most common question prompts include things like, which statements are correct? And you have to choose the correct answers. Or, the key points are, in which you have to select the points present in the text. The last most common question prompt is, according to the text, or even according to the author, which will require you to understand which points the author is making or what is present in the text. On test day, you're likely to see 2 to 3 of these questions on the exam, and it's a good rule of thumb to spend no more than 2 to 3 minutes on each of these questions. Keep in mind that you have to pace yourself during the entire reading section and keep track of your own time. Now let's look at the scoring of this question because it is a little tricky. First, these questions are obviously part of your reading score. There's more than one correct option per question, and you can select more than one answer. A score of 1 is given for each correctly completed answer, but if you choose an incorrect response, you'll have a point taken away. However, a score of 0 is the minimum score per question. In other words, you can't receive a negative score, even if you marked more incorrect options than correct options for the question. Understanding how this question type is scored is very important because it will affect how you answer the question to a certain degree. You should focus on choosing the answers you're confident in first. If you're unsure of an answer, it's better not to select it since you could lose a point if it's incorrect. In other words, it's better to play it safe in this question type and not risk receiving a negative mark. Now let's look at an example. Here is the text that we'll work with today. This is a classic text that you would see on the exam, and our example today is just under 300 words. Here's the multiple choice question and the answer options. We'll go through a more detailed strategy in our in-depth lesson, but I'll give you some tips today. Always read your question first and focus on what it is asking you to do. Then, read your answer options quickly and focus on the keywords. Let's do that now. According to the article, and that's the question prompt, this is actually a very difficult one because it's very open-ended and the answer could be anything. We need to focus on what's included in the article. Let's look at our answer options now and understand the keywords. Answer option A. It was absolutely impossible to conduct research in the field of first language acquisition of children before the invention of the tape recorder. The keywords here would be impossible, conduct research, first language, children, before, and tape recorder. There are quite a lot of keywords here since the answer option is long, but words like impossible make the idea very clear. Answer option B. The tape recorder enabled researchers to keep samples of speech for a long period of time. The keywords here are tape recorder, enabled, researchers, keep samples, and long period. Answer option C. Experts have always faced difficulties when carrying out linguistic research with children. The keywords here are always, difficulties, linguistic research, and children. This is somewhat similar to option A, since the word always is an absolute term and is either correct or incorrect. Answer option D. It is difficult to conduct linguistic research with children because children do not reason rationally. The keywords here are difficult, linguistic research, children, do not reason. Again, the phrase do not is important here and it makes the idea very clear. Answer option E. Some children are unwilling to speak in front of a tape recorder. Here the keywords are children, unwilling, speak, and tape recorder. And last, answer option F. Ever since the invention of the tape recorder, linguists have not experienced difficulties in conducting research with children. The keywords are ever since, tape recorder, linguists have not experienced difficulties, and research with children. Don't worry too much if my keyword choices are different than the ones you would have chosen. There's really no one right or wrong way to choose keywords. Just make sure you're looking at the general meaning and the idea of each answer option. This will help you as you read through the text. So now that I've chosen my keywords, I'm going to start scanning for them in the text. Once I've found a promising area, I'm going to skim read around that keyword to get an idea of what the text is saying. And I'm going to give you 2 minutes right now to do that on your own. And then when we come back, we'll look at the answers together. All right, let's look at the text. I'm going to show you the keywords I used and how I went through the process of answering this question. But first I want to let you know that there were 3 correct answers in this example. Remember though that you may not always find the information in the order of the answer options presented to you. For example, information in answer option A may not be found in the text until the very end. Just remember this, and remember too that all texts will be different. Now I'm going to show you how I found the keywords and how I answered the questions. Right away, I noticed the keywords children and first language in the beginning of the text. Through skimming, I briefly understood the information in the following sentences. Scholars carried out several small-scale studies, especially toward the end of the 19th century, using data they recorded in parental diaries. But detailed systematic investigation did not begin until the middle decades of the 20th century when the tape recorder came into routine use. This information allowed me to eliminate option A straight away because the information in the text contradicts that in the answer option, because the information in the text proves that scientists were indeed able to conduct research before the invention of the tape recorder. And moving on, I see more of my keywords. The text says permanent record, and my answer option B has the keywords long period of time. These are synonyms, so I decided to skim read here. It says, this made it possible to keep a permanent record of samples of child speech so that analysts could listen repeatedly to obscure extracts and thus produce a detailed and accurate description. Does this match up with the information I have in answer option B? Yes, a permanent record is definitely a long period of time, so I would select answer option B as a correct answer. As I continue scanning for keywords, I notice that the text includes information about researchers, problems, and the differences between working with children and working with adults. I skipped a few sentences because I saw more of my keywords, children and experiments, so I wanted to skim read more. It is not possible to carry out certain kinds of experiments because aspects of children's cognitive development, such as their ability to pay attention or to remember instructions, may not be sufficiently advanced, nor is it easy to get children to make systematic judgments about language, a task that is virtually impossible below the age of 3. This text proves that answer option C is correct because it shows how experts have always faced difficulties when carrying out linguistic research with children. However, this area of the text also proves that answer D is incorrect. The text says it is not possible to carry out certain kinds of experiments because aspects of children's cognitive development, such as their ability to pay attention or to remember instructions, may not be sufficiently advanced. It makes no mention of the fact that children do not reason rationally, but rather talks about their cognitive development. So I can eliminate option D because it contradicts the text. And last, answer option E is included in this portion of the text. Some children, it seems, are innately programmed to switch off as soon as they notice a tape recorder being switched on. The keywords some children are included in the answer option and the text, and the ideas are the same, so I would choose option E as another correct answer. Notice that answer option F directly contradicts answer option E, and thus the information in the text. So I would definitely eliminate that as an option as well. And there you have it. This question contained 3 correct answers, B, C, and E. And you'll notice how the information in the text directly corresponded to the information in these answers. The 2 answers we didn't choose directly contradicted the information in the text. This was quite a difficult question, but I hope you understand the importance of choosing your keywords from the question and the answer prompts before you start skimming and scanning your text. You'll notice that I didn't read the entire text and I didn't waste any time. Of course, I did take some time explaining the answers with you today, but the goal would be for you to do this on your own in 2 to 3 minutes. We go over more strategies and detailed examples in our in-depth video, but for now I want to leave you with these important tips to remember. Like we saw in our example today, make sure to understand the question prompt and read it carefully. This will help you read for purpose and to find the answers easily in the text. Remember to scan and skim, and you should be scanning the text for the keywords mentioned in the answer options so you can easily locate the answers. Be on the lookout for synonyms as well, just like we did today. Time management is very important here, especially with the longer text. Remember to spend just 2 to 3 minutes per question. Understand if the answer options in the text correspond or contradict each other. This is very important when choosing more than one answer and when you have many answer options to choose from. In terms of strategy and scoring, choose the answers that you're most sure of first. If you're not completely sure of an answer, just don't include it, rather than wasting more time reading the text and analyzing something. Alright, thanks for joining me today. I hope this video helped you learn more about the multiple choice, multiple answer question type. And if you'd like to practice more questions and learn more about the exam, check out our website at edubenchmark.com. Or watch our other videos, including the in-depth lesson and helpful do's and don'ts for this question type. When it comes time to practice for your speaking test, you should definitely use our PTE Speaking Mock Test service. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.